Great evening, everybody. Welcome, welcome, and welcome again to the Wealth Talks conversation. It's Wealth Wednesday. It's Winning Wednesday. It is, let's see, what other word? Wonderful Wednesday. It's Walk It Out Wednesday. It is Walking My Purpose Wednesday. It is Way to Go Wednesday. Whatever Wednesday you want it to be, we're excited to have each and every one of you on tonight. Listen, if you're watching us via our Facebook group, free trial, it's a glimpse of peak. So many of you may have been connected to the space before. I'm excited to share with you some new things, some new perspective. If you're watching us here on YouTube, hey, everybody on YouTube. So excited that each and every one of you share with somebody. Like, comment, do whatever it takes for you to be engaging on tonight. I hope you have, look, I have mine right here. Hope you have your notebook. Hope you have your pen. Listen, if you're watching us in the Revolution to Freedom group, hey, everybody. So excited for each and every one of you to join us on tonight. I know the founder, Dana Funny, is so excited that you took the time out your busy night to join us. Listen, I want to let you know you are truly in for a treat. You're truly in a place where you can experience the freedom you desire. I don't want you to know she's excited to have you. We're excited to have you. We're just in an amazing place in our life. Day, 19 of 2022. I hope yours kicked off great. There's no need to fret. As long as you're here, you still have a ways to go. So I'm going to definitely play a song really, really quickly. Get some vibes, get some other people in, tag somebody, share this with somebody, let them know, listen, we're going to hear how cash flow can forever change our life. So with that being said, I'll be back in just a moment. Vibes, nigga, small vibes. We making history. The devil can't get to me. The haters can't get to me. We got the victory. We need the millions. You can keep all the misery. Cause we making history. We got the victory. We making history. The devil can't get to me. The haters can't get to me. We got the victory. We need the millions. You can keep all the misery. Cause we making history. We got the victory. I open my eyes, I talk to my God and go for my goals. I meditate, then I hop in the lamb, I hop in the road. My team is coming for answers and trust we don't settle for no's. We kicking out dogs and we saving souls all across the globe. I survived some critical symptoms. Then we changed their lives and teaching more people residual income. We teaching them life, we teaching them love, we teaching them loyalty. So believe you a king, believe you a queen, believe that you royalty. Bust out AP flexing. Mama used to be stressing. I even went through depression, but it ain't a loss, it's a lesson. Passion brings in progression. Health and wealth is the message. Trust the vision is the message. Now we count big blessings. So let's go. We making history. The devil can't get to me. The haters can't get to me. We got the victory. We need the millions. You can keep all the misery. Cause we making history. We got the victory. We making history. The devil can't get to me. The haters can't get to me. We got the victory. We need the millions. You can keep all the misery. Cause we making history. We got the victory. I don't feed into the negativity. I pray for anyone trying to get rid of me. I make money in my sleep, literally. I got the victory. I got the victory. I need to feel the vibe inside this room, y'all. I'ma rock the crowd whether in person or a Zoom. Well, gotta stay in line if you wanna reach greatness. Can't let nobody trick you out your spot with all that hating. They say pressure bust pipe, so it's gonna make some diamonds. And I work good under pressure, so my chains are shining. Ranks we climbing, spiritual alignment, execute the assignment, and then we reminded, we making history. The devil can't get to me, the haters can't get to me. We got the victory. We need the millions. You can keep all the misery, cause we making history. We got the victory. Let's go. We making history. The devil can't get to me. The haters can't get to me. We got the victory. We need the millions. You can keep all the misery, cause we making history. We got the victory. We got the. Well, great evening, everybody. Welcome, welcome, and welcome again to our wealth conversation.
It's time for cash flow. And I'm excited for each and every one of you being here. To our YouTube audience, so excited that you're here. I believe that you're going to hear some great information. I believe it's going to open your mind to something new. I believe that on this Wealth Wednesday, on this Walk It Out Wednesday, on this, Wisdom Wednesday, you're going to hear something that's going to penetrate with you and really search yourself to say, you know what? Am I ready to really walk out my dreams? Am I ready to walk out my goals? Am I ready to do the very thing that I desire to do? Also, all of you in our Game Changer Society free trial group, we're so excited to have you. Hey everyone, I know many of you may have been in this space before. Many of you tried it and say, I don't know if it worked for me. And maybe say, listen, I was in, but did I give it all I had? I want you to understand it. I want you to see it from a different perspective. Some of you said, listen, I don't know if it was the right time for me. I don't know if maybe I was using it for what it was, or was I really diving in and digging into the education? I want you to know that we're going to have a conversation on tonight. And I really want to talk to you from a place of a person that's been there where you are, and want you to say, listen, at what point are you going to say, I'm going to fight, and I'm going to fight for what I desire to do? And of course, all of you over at the Revolution to Freedom group, welcome, welcome, and welcome again. So excited that Dana Funny decided that she said, listen, I want you to hear this information. I want you to be a part of this great community. And she opened the doors just for you. So I hope that you understand this is truly the beginning. The revolution will be televised. This is truly the beginning of you being free like never before. I want to make sure everyone can hear me. You can type some ones in the chat. I can see the chat here on my screen. I want to make sure we're good to go. I'm your girl, Martisha Tish LaCroix. I'm officially known in the squad as Jersey. I am really excited because I realized that in 2022, as I explained to the Game Changer Society, that I'm the co-founder of, where we are the change for ourselves, our families, and our community. I want you to understand one thing, if not anything, is that change truly starts with you. I explained to them that this year is going to be the year of consistent new stories, the year of consistent new testimonies, because I'm telling you, the story that you were telling in 2021, the story you were telling in 2019, the story you were telling in 2008, I'll be honest with you, that's an old story. I know you don't want to hear it. I know you don't want to know that. I know you don't want to experience me telling you the truth, but I'm going to tell you that's an old story. True story is it's an old story. Breaking news, when are you going to tell a new story? See, because if you are a believer, I want you to know that it says that he's made new. He makes all things new. He wants to do a new thing. That means you should have a new story. That means you should be growing and growing and growing again. A baby doesn't go from being a baby to a toddler and stops and keeps talking about the baby triumphs and tribulations and overcomes. No, it becomes a toddler, and then it becomes a young person that becomes I would say a medium person, but it becomes a young person that becomes a teenager, that becomes a young adult, that becomes an adult, that becomes a senior citizen, who now the senior, right, the season tells the story from 80 and 90 all the way back 90 years. So I declared over them and I spoke to them, and we're going to have a year of new stories. What new story will you tell in 2022? Listen, I want you all to dive in. I promise I won't be for you long, because I'm actually missing. I was laughing because I'm like, oh man, one of the educators comes on tonight teaching us something. And I said, no, I got to be on this stage. I got to be able to give this information because someone needs to hear this on this Wealth Wednesday night. And so I'm telling you from a place of asking you, for like I asked myself, what new story will I have? I want y'all to talk back to me in the chat. I want you to participate in your success. That's the first nugget I'm going to give you tonight. Will you show up and will you participate in your success? Or will you depend on someone else to be the person that makes you wealthy? I want you to think about that tonight. We're talking about cash flow. Many of you work jobs, and that's perfectly okay. You may love what you do. Like, I love what I do. I don't, I'm a business owner. Honestly, punch a regular clock, but I love what I do. I love what I do. I love who I am. I love who I get to meet, but I understand the power of multiplication. I understand the power of being in a position where I don't have to work to get all my money, but I can put it in certain avenues and it can grow for me while I do what I love to do. That's so powerful and that's so enriching. So as I told y'all on tonight, we're talking about cash flow, but we're talking about what new story are you going to tell? Are you going to keep telling the same story? Are you going to keep telling the same story? Or are we going to create new stories in 2022? You know how you put it on your vision board in 2020 and then all what happened, and then it didn't happen. So you put it on the vision board in 2021 and then it didn't happen. And now we're in 2022. At what point will you now have that story done and start another story and start another story? When will the story be a new story? or will we continue to make excuses for why we can't have the story that we have? So listen, how do you talk to yourself? Again, are you creating a new story? How we talk to ourselves is so vitally important. I want you to ask some questions, things I want to know if you're saying to yourself, right? Are you saving money? Like, it's like self. Are we saving any money? How many of you heard people say, you may have or may not heard people say, savers are the biggest losers? And the reason why is because savings account doesn't grow. A savings account doesn't grow enough to overcome inflation. I'm gonna say it again. A savings account does not grow at a high enough rate to beat out inflation. So the only way that saving makes you a winner is if your savings is growing at a rate that's larger than inflation. You can write that down. You can research it. It's the truth of the matter. If your money can't beat inflation, you're losing. Now, you can be a saver and save for something else. Let's say I'm saving $10,000 to now start an Airbnb business, or I'm saving $30,000 to now put a down payment on a home. That's a different conversation. But if you're saving just to save, and your money is just sitting there, you truly are not winning. So another thing I was talking to, am I paying off debt, or what debt will I pay off? These are questions I have to talk to Tish sometimes. I have to say, girl, get it together. I say, girl, are we going to pay this debt off this year? Are we really going to tell a new story? We're talking cash flow. We're talking new stories, right? We're talking, hey, hey, is my life changing? Am I going to really change my life? Has the same things I've been doing, have they been working? Because if they haven't been working, then I'm not changing. And so tonight, I really want to talk to you briefly about how cash flows. I want you to know that money doesn't just flow on Friday or flow on Monday when you get paid, or the 1st and the 15th, or just the 1st. Money flows 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. It doesn't stop. Hence why they call it currency, because currencies don't stop. Now, if y'all hear a little person coming here, it's my Sugarfoot. That's the beauty of working from home. So y'all might hear iPad, but I'm going to keep going because that's what I know to do. See, the beauty of being where I am is that I get to be with my baby. She's the youngest of the LaCroix tribe right now. And so she's 2 and the other one is 24. Imagine that, right? But anyway, so I want to talk about 4 ways that cash flows, right? So understand that cash flows all the time. A man by the name of Robert Kiyosaki said these are the 4 pieces of the cash flow quadrant where money flows. We're going to talk about all 4. You want to write these down. You want to really think in your mind, talk to yourself with your pen and pad, and talk back to me. Come on. Thank you. Dana says she's going to have new stories in 2022. I'm excited to hear them. But I'm going to talk about each component of this quadrant. I'm going to talk about each component and how I can relate to you. And I'm also talk about the best part, which is how each component of this quadrant, right, we can assist you with. All right, so here we go. Y'all ready? Let's get with this. I want you to know that once you understand how each quadrant works, you could actually have total control over your life. Some of you looking at your life and saying it's in a disarray. I don't know what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do. I want you to know that you can have total control in your life. Let me say something as my money mentor says to me. I can have it all. I can have it all, period. I can have it all. I can have the great marriage. I can have the great children. I can have the great neighborhood. I can have the great businesses. I can have the great family. I can have the great health. I can have it all. Because I'm telling a new story in 2022, and I'm really understanding how my cash is going to flow. So part 1, let's talk about the 60%, right? Robert Kiyosaki said that 60% of the population works for someone else. That means they get up every day, they punch a clock, and every 1st, 15th, every Friday, every Friday, every Tuesday, however they get paid, they get a check. Understand that they get up and they go to work. They may get up and go into their home office, but understand that what you're doing, you're exchanging your time and energy and skill, and in return, you receive paychecks and benefits. It wasn't until I think I was working for an insurance company, I realized that when they said you were making $50,000, that they incorporated your benefits in that number. So really, I was going to take it home like 20 to 30,000, and I would be like, well, what happened? And they're like, no, your compensation includes the benefits. I didn't know at the time. I want you to understand that in many cases, when an employee stops working, the money's going to stop. There's no job where, unless you retire from it, where you start working for the company and you still get a check. It doesn't work that way. And so I want you to understand that it's okay to be an employee, but you have to go by how you relate to that space. How does it look to you? So here's what you need to know about being an employee, that your employer is your investor. Your employer is investing in you, believe it or not. And here's how you have to take it. That when I don't want to be at that job and when I don't want to go there, now for the person that loves what they do is a different conversation. But if you used to say, I don't like this place, I don't want to be in this place, you got to look at it from a different perspective. You got to go in there excited to say that you are my number one investor. You are the one that's going to pay me, and I'm going to take what you pay me, and guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to invest it in myself. If you with me, put some tools in the chat. Now, so because now you got in perspective, you got cash coming in this one quadrant, because we're going to maximize our 40s. You have cash coming into this quadrant. We go to part 2, right? And part 2 is the self-employed. Now, let's talk about that. Many times, the people that are in the self-employed quadrant, they make up the 35%. Now, mind you, these numbers are not based on the state of South Carolina where I live. They're not based on the United States of America, but they are based on people worldwide. All right, who are in the working class, right? Who are working, all right? So the self-employed comprise of 35% of the people. These are the people who are your lawyers, your doctors, your dentists. These are the people that, hey, they listen, you said, you know what? I'm making great money, but I still have the same rules apply. That if I don't work, or if I don't go to work, or if I don't take on a client, I'm generally not making money. Now, here is the great thing about it is even if you are an employee that you're not doing what we call a side hustle, right? A side hustle, right? Now, you now have a second investor. Come on, you have now people who says, listen, you taught me a class, or listen, you did, you fixed my sink, or you was my attorney. Now I have a second stream technically of income, because if by day I am a data technician, right? It's a data in the computer, but by night I'm over here building websites. I now have 2 investors. I'm going to show you where that money's going to go, because we have to talk about cash flow. So now I have 2 ways of money coming into me, right? Sometimes you work, my apologies for the word being spelled wrong. Sometimes you work harder and you work longer hours, because now there's not the dependency, all right? There's not the whole, piece of the fact that this company has all these shareholders and backings. Now I'm in a place where I have to actually do a little more work. Now, let's think about that for just a quick second before I go into how we can help you in this quadrant. Understanding if your goal was to be home with the children more, getting a second job is not going to get that for you. Remember, the self-employed person, the person that is beginning to step out on themselves, right? And they're beginning to be in a place where they're able to say, I'm going to eventually get rid of the job if that's not where I want to be, and I'm going to be self-sufficient. But I also got to figure out my keywords. I write this down. How to multiply. Well, let's talk about the self-employed and how we can help you in this quadrant. We have something called what is HFX. That's high frequency binary option, which as soon as I get off with you all, I'm going to hop on with one of our educators. And so what high frequency binary options is just this simple for me to tell you what it is. It is time-based trading, all right? And it's time-based trading because it doesn't matter how far up the market may go. What matters is as long as it stays above, if I feel it's going to go up, or below because I feel it's going to go down, where I entered it, I will win. And so I have to now do that for the time. If I say for an hour, when that hour ends, and as long as I'm where I'm supposed to be, I win. Just that simple. And so what I Am Master Academy is, I'm going to explain to you, is that, like I said, it's the exchange market. So I noticed to ask the question, how many trillions of dollars are in this market move? Again, if you were looking at time-based trading, how much time I really need to be in this space, right? I don't have to be in there long, right? This market is valued at really about $6.6 trillion. It's gone up since it's been produced. But just the fact that it was at $5.3 trillion is enough for me, right? Because I get access to that using time-based trading. In addition to that, the market is open 24 hours, 5 days a week. Well, technically 6 days. The market opens at 5 p.m. on Sunday and it closes at 5 p.m. on Friday. And so all hours in between that, you get access to the market. So again, if you were someone who has a full-time job in the day, you may get in the market at night. You may participate with our educators at night. But if you're someone who says, listen, you are a person who is working at night, you may participate in the day. What I want you to understand is when you tap into this space, you are tapping into financial literacy. You're becoming what we call a better steward of your money. In addition to that, you are not using your own physical money. You have what is called a broker, and the broker is helping you and assisting you to get into the market. I do want you to understand one thing. You write this down. We are the financial literacy organization. So understand that we don't have any access to your trading accounts. You own them, they're your accounts, you do your thing. All you're connecting us to for is financial education. Let me give you a real life example. Is that I went to the University of Alabama, roll tide till I die, and I have a degree. I paid Alabama for my master's degree. So Alabama, that's what I paid for. I paid for the professor, I paid for access, I paid for all of that. And here's the thing, the moment I started working within my field, I don't owe Alabama anything. They don't know where I'm working at. They don't know what I'm doing. They just know I graduated and I used my degree. The same concept applies here. Now, Master Academy, like I stated before, is a financial literacy organization. In this space, okay, we're talking about the self-employed space. What did I say you have to do? You have to show up, right? You have to put time in. And that's truly what this component of this academy does. I have to come in and I have to sit in front of the computer and I have to say, well, I'm going to come in an hour a day, or I'm going to come in 30 minutes a day, right? To HFX, high frequency binary options trading. And in doing so, says, listen, we've simplified how exactly you can do that, okay? We have our IM.Center, which is recorded video that takes you step by step from what is the foreign exchange market all the way through different indicators and different strategies that help you learn this space. In addition to that, we have well over 180 full-time educators speaking 18 plus languages where you can get on live with. Like I said just now, listen, when I get off with you all, I'm getting on live with Rico himself to show up to talk about this new broker option. And so I get on live education with someone who's a 7, 8, or 9-figure earner who is teaching me, number one, financial literacy, and number two, who is not just only teaching me, but giving me ideas that I can actually take, knowing the basis of how to do it. So here is the thing. I don't have to know how to ride a motorcycle to know how to ride a bike. The concept of riding a motorcycle is the same thing, except one is motorized and one isn't. So when I learned how to ride a bike, I started at a tricycle and I got the basics. I had balance. And as I graduated, I went on to a regular bike and then to a motorcycle. What am I saying? What I'm saying is you don't have to know everything to get into this space. What you have to understand is that I want to take what I already make on the left side of the quadrant, and I want to invest it to multiply it on the right side of the quadrant, which we're going to talk about. So here with binary options trading, you're able to get live mentorship. So you're able to pick the schedule that works for you. Pick the educator that works for you. That's the key here. It's about you saying, I'm going to take the time to invest in myself. Again, this is financial literacy. I got so many other things I'm going to share that I'm excited about, but this is financial literacy. This is you taking yourself to listen for 30 minutes a day for an hour a day. I'm going to tap in. I'm going to lean in, and I'm going to put myself in a position where I am able to see a new story take place in my life. Right? So now also we have what are called strategies or weapons. You get to choose your weapon. Your weapon, right, is these 18 strategies. So these strategies allow you to be in a position where as you learn, you can also earn. So now you're learning and you're using the strategy to earn, right? While you're getting on with educators and you're learning. The key here is that after you learn, you didn't earn, right? You drop the L and you learn. You learn and then you earn. That's how it works. In addition to that, we have 3 apps for on the go. So now these apps speak to each academy, and these apps allow you to take market ideas, or and you can take them or not take them while you're on the go. So when you're out with your children, if you are doing different things, you're able to now be a part of the great space. This is Monica Tapia. She is one of our chairmen, our leaders here. And she said, listen, I am powerful. I have the total freedom of living my dreams, and doing the very things in my own way has brought me the greatest joy. And so now, again, we've leaned into what self-employment really is. I get in front of the computer, I give it 30 minutes to an hour every day, or however many days I'm able to do so, and I see results, right? I'm able to follow proper risk management and really lean into this space. Now, we're going to go over to part 3, right, which is investment. This is the 1% of the people. Now, I want you to know that no matter which quadrant you are in, you can tap into the investors quadrant, okay? And no matter where you are on the list, you can tap into the investors quadrant. Come on, put an I in the chat. I am an investor. Put an I in there. I am an investor. Because the first thing you're going to invest into is investing in yourself. I want you to know that investors say, this is the easiest thing, they put money to work for them. which means that they take the money they've earned in the work section. In the employment section, in the self-employed section. I couldn't get it out. And they move it over to the investor section for them to now watch it multiply, which means they're not doing anything but putting it over there. They invest in other businesses because they're not doing the work. They're just getting a check because I gave you the capital. And that's really what investment really is. So in the investment area of our program, our financial literacy program, we have what is called the Dcx Academy. And the Dcx Academy allows us to invest in one of our favorite things, which is the digital currency space. Now, many of you are very, very familiar with Bitcoin and may not be familiar with of the 10,000 other coins that are available to you as long as they have the proper technology and they're backing something. But I want you to understand that the crypto industry is well over $1 trillion now. The value continues to go up as other companies in other areas get hip to the fact that digital currency is not going anywhere. The digital space is what took us from writing checks to now tapping our phones and our watches. So digital currency is here to stay. You just want to make sure you're on the right side of it at the right time, making the right amount of money. So Bitcoin being the grandfather of this whole thing is that now we are putting money in purchasing Bitcoin or purchasing Ethereum and different things. And we're now able to see it grow. Again, I'm not doing any work, but being what we said, the I quadrant. I am an investor. And as you can see, no matter how far back you may have bought Bitcoin, you have seen it grow over time. The biggest thing I want to tell you about Bitcoin is this. You want to be in a position that you're buying it from the right place. You know how to move it at the right time, that you can watch it grow. That's any coin that you see in this space. Percentage-wise, this is the growth of Bitcoin alone. Imagine the other coins that are growing at a rapid rate, right? So this is not the only one, but you get access to educators that are going to show you how to properly invest your coins. Many of you have seen the metaverse is up, and I mean, you're buying eyeglasses, but the reality is people are buying digital real estate. People are actually spending money in the metaverse. You want to be on that side where you're able to see, to not spend the money, but to be a recipient of the investment that people are making. And so what I love about the digital currency side of our program is that all these ways you see around it are ways that you can make income. The metaverse, as I just mentioned, Bitcoin, as I just mentioned, leveraging and exchanging it. You're exchanging it for different coins and you're actually trading it. You can stake it. I know you're like, Tish, what is staking? I'm telling you, learn about it. You can use DeFi, which is decentralized banking, which is my favorite. Why? Because we all right now use a centralized bank. What if you really believe you could be the lender and the lender? You can lend to yourself. We have seen success stories like myself where we can borrow against ourselves and still see results. I don't have to go through an extensive application check for me to go and borrow money. It's my money. It's against my coins, and I'm able to see results. NFTs, another way that you can buy them, you can create them, smart contracts, gaming, all of these things are ways that you can see financial results in our digital currency space. Now, I want you to write this number down, $600, because we're going to come back and revisit this conversation about it in just a moment. But what I want to talk about in this space is the fact that what if over 1 year, right, you accumulated $7,200, 1 year, $600 a month, for a whole year, $7,200. In 7 years, that money could grow when you being very, what's the word I'm looking for? You being minimal risk, right? You being really, really cautious about your risk. But at a minimum, you can grow your account up to $196,000. And you didn't do any work. All you did was follow instructions, leverage the right coins, leverage the space, leverage the financial literacy, and you've seen substantial results. All while you're still over here running your business, you're still over here, right, working for whoever you want to work for. In addition to that, no different than the HFX Academy, we have a space. You have the same access to educators, the help center, right? The IM center, the recorded education. You have the same access to from both academies. You get live mentorship, no different than you get with the HFX Academy. This is Mike Sotero. He's one of the Dcx educators. He said, I'm grateful. My life, my ability to make huge difference in this world is forever changed because of this academy. He is actually our Alt-Fi educator. He's teaching people how to use other coins and maximize on their investor. Come on, I am an investor. Now, I know the biggest question everybody wants to ask is, of course, how much does it cost to get started? Let me tell you this right now. I don't know how long this is going to last. We didn't talk about the FRX Academy. We talked about the HFX. We definitely talked about the Dcx, which I feel is vitally important right now with us being in a digital space. But we also talked about, in so many words, the Elite Academy. So to get started today, if you do the HFX or the Dcx, it's $234.95 to start. Now, I'm going to say this, and I know this video is time-stamped, so I'm going to tell you why I'm saying it like this, because it's going to change right now. Right now. And I don't know how long this is going to last, but right now, you can get into HFX or Dcx Academies for only $185. Y'all blow the chat for that, because I'm telling you, that's a game changer. That's a steal, okay? $185 will get you started with the Dcx Academy to get you access to our Swipe Coin app, get you access to our Dcx educators, and get you access to, of course, our academy. And so you want to be in that space, all right? Now, if you say, I want it all, I want to be able to do it all, you can get our Elite package. That's $324.95 to start, $274.95 a month. Now, a couple things I want to let you know is that our company is so excited and knowing that we have the best financial literacy in the world. And that is, we're saying, hey, because we know that. They said, listen, if you bring 2 people with you, they said, y'all going to learn financial literacy together. You have a support team. You have a squad. The company's going to waive your fee every month. Your educational fee is waived for every month those 2 people are active. Not 2 people every month, but the same 2 people every month is going to be waived. That's how much we believe that you'll leave this space financially. Your financial literacy will be so much better than it was when you started. Now, I'm going to talk about part 4 real quick, and we're going to wrap this up. All right. So part 4 is the business owner quadrant. How many of you know that you all should own a home-based business? Type some 3s in the chat. Listen, I know I should own a home-based business, right? I should own a home-based business. Because what home-based business does, it works so many things in your favor. Owning a business is game-changing for you. All right? So 4% of the people in the wealth quadrant own a business. This means a system that runs whether you're there or not. That's why I love being a business owner. Whether I come here or not, my system still works, my employees still work, and I can do other things. I can continue to grow and scale my brand. So here at I Am CASHFLOW Academy, we do have the opportunity for you to become an independent business owner. And I'm going to tell you how it works really quickly. All right, so understand this right here. You are promoting financial literacy, all right? So you have educators that people get connected to, and that's what they connect to. You don't have to teach anybody anything. Your job is to connect people to our financial education, all right? So in doing so, the company says that when you get to 12 people, and the reason why I talk about this is because we talked about $600 a month, right? $7,200 in the first year. When you get to 12 people, the company says, I'm going to pay you $600 a month. Now, if you took that same $600 and you invested, like we showed you again, with minimal risk, you can grow it up to another 100, and was $37,000. But here's what I want to tell you: you don't have to limit yourself with the amount of people you want to assist. Again, you're connecting to the same education that you have. The educators are going to teach them. The products are going to work for them, and they're going to focus on being better at their financial literacy. They're going to focus on their cash. They're going to focus on creating new stories. And you're there to be the support. You're there to be the cheerleader. You're there to help and assist in any way that you can. But what I want to show you is that it doesn't end at $600 a month. You can go all the way up to $500,000, a month, based on how many people you decide you want to assist, you want to help, you want to partner with to get financial literacy. Listen, this is one of our leaders, Gary McSweeney. He says, listen, I am wealthy, worth more than money. It taught me how to create and build wealth, allowing me to spend more time with my family. Many of us want to spend more time with our family. Many of us says, I have to tell a new story. I can't keep going on like this. And so I'm going to ask you, leave with this one question: what will you become? At what point will you say, I'm going to tell a new story? I'm going to be in a new place, a new mindset, a new shift. I'm excited to be in this place. I'm excited to hear your new story. Not in 2023. No, I'm talking about right now, January 2022, February 2022. What will your story be and what will it be like? Get with the person that invited you to these groups. Get with Dana Funny if you're over in the Revolution of Freedom group. Definitely if you're on YouTube, contact us. We'll be here to assist you. You can comment below and we'll be here to assist you. Remember to do life on purpose, with purpose, and for purpose. 2022, the year of new stories. Let's go.